Hello children, welcome to CE class. Today we will study to create flow chart to find largest of three numbers. If we have three numbers x, y, z, we will assume that three numbers are x, y, z, and if we want then we can find out the largest of those three numbers. So today we will study about the flow chart. The flow chart is already given in the textbook. It is example 1 of this chapter. So students, these are the symbols. You can see I have already told you about the symbols used in flowchart. I told you about the oval shape. So oval symbol is used for start and stop. You can see this is input, this is output. Input to insert something and output means to get the output, means to print something. So here you can see we are printing some message on the screen. So this is output. So input and output, the symbols will be same. And here these are three conditions. So these symbols are used for conditions. We can start flowchart here. Then after that we have to read three values. Okay, the three values are x, y and z. That means in our program we will insert three values one by one. Then we have to check first two values. We cannot compare three values all together. So we can compare only two values first of all. So two numbers we will compare. So first of all we will take it x and y. If x is greater than y, here if x is greater than y, this is true condition, this is false condition. Okay. So here if x is greater than y and it is true, that means it is yes, then x will be the largest of two. If it goes this side, that means y is the largest. Got it? If it comes this side, that means x is largest. If here the y is largest. So here x is largest. Now x and y was already compared and you know that x is greater than y. That means now we will compare x and z. So here you can see x is greater than z. Now if x is greater than z, that means x is greater. If it is yes, okay, here this is the yes condition. If x is greater than z, then x is largest will be printed. And this is the false condition. No. If x is greater than y, but x is not greater than z, that means z is the largest number. So it will come here and will print z is the largest number. Then again we will see this condition. Got it? Here we got about x and z. Now we will compare x and y again. You can see x is greater than y. If it is false, that means here y is greater than x. Y will be compared to the third number and that is z. So if y is greater than z, that means y is the largest number. So here this is yes condition. If y is greater than z, then what will be printed? That y is largest number. But we will see that if y is not greater than z, then what will happen? Here also the z will be the greatest number. Okay. So it will come here and will print z is the largest number. You can see here arrow shows the flow of the flow chart. I hope you understood this. Same we can compare with number also. We can take x equals to 2, y equals to 7 and z equals to 13, etc. And then we can check that exactly how the flow chart works. Now students, we will learn to write an algorithm. As we have studied an example of flow chart, you have got some logic that how a program can be written or a flow chart can be written. The same way we will write algorithm also, but we will not use symbols. So here algorithms we will write in a language which is very close to the programming language, but it will be beneficial for those who already know programming language. So if you don't have knowledge of programming language, then you can write it in simple English sentences. So first of all, the first step is declaration of variable. The variable is actually a placeholder to store a value. Like if we have to store a number, then variable will store the numbers. If we have to store character, then we will means a single letter or a sentence, then it will be stored in a variable. Or if we want to store decimal numbers, okay, the numbers containing decimal points, then it can be stored in a variable. So for that we have some rules that we have to follow. integers will store data of only same type. You know, you have studied integers in maths. Integers actually store negative to positive numbers. Here we have taken two variables, integer x and y. In flowchart we have taken three numbers because there we have to compare three numbers. Got it? X, y and z. So if we have to compare three numbers, either it can be integer or it can be float, because we can compare the numbers and decimal numbers only. So integer x and y, that means x and y are variables. Integer is data type. X and y are variables. So these x and y will store only numbers, either negative number or positive number or 0. Now character. Okay, this is char. Its full form is character. Char will store, there are two values. You can write one single value also. It is as per your requirement. How many variables you want, how many values you want to store. So here they are simply explaining you with the help of examples. So they have taken two variables of char data type. This is data type, these are data types, and these are variable names. If we are writing two variables, then it will be comma separated, and this is terminating symbol, semicolon. Okay. So A and CH will be char data type, and it will store only a single letter, or we can also store symbol in it. Symbols means dot, question mark, hash, at the rate, etc. So now this is float. Float can store, you can see amount. Amount you have seen mostly in decimal numbers. So float, these variables you can write of your own choice. It can be A to Z, any variable. It can be any name also. You can write a variable name of your own choice. So here we have written amount in short, that is AMT. Okay. So float is a data type AMT. That means amount is the variable. Then it will store the decimal numbers, the numbers which contain decimals. Now students, the second step is assignment. After declaring the variables, we have to assign the value. Like if we have taken three variables x, y and z, then we have to assign some value to it, like x equals to 2 and y equals to 7 and z equals to 30. So this way, if we have to put value in the variable, or we have to assign the value to the variable, then this is the expression. Okay. So here there will be variable. You have to write variable here. Variables means, I told you in the previous step, declaration of variables. Variables are x, y, z, a, b, c, d, m, n, o, etc. So variable you have to write this side, and this is the arrow. It will shows that right hand side value will be assigned to the left hand side variable. So this shows the assignment, and here we have to write the number, value or any character, string, etc. Then here this is variable. Variable is capital A, and 10 is the value. So we have assigned A equals to 10. That means now 10 will be stored in the variable A. Now conditional statement. This is the third step. If we want condition in our program, like if we have to add two numbers only, then we don't need any condition. Simply we can add two numbers. We can take two variables, and then after that we will assign two values to it, those variables, and then we will add it. So here, if conditions are there, like finding largest of three numbers, there we were having condition. So if we have to check whether the condition is fulfilled or not, according to that we will write statement. So here it will start with if. Here we have to mention the condition. Okay. Right now this is example. Okay. This is the syntax that I am telling you. So here you do have to write the condition. So like if x is greater than y. Got it? So if the condition is here, then what will happen? S2 statement will be executed. If this condition is true, then only this block will be executed. So S2 or S1, whatever statements are there, will be executed. So this is for true only if condition. This is if condition, this is if else condition, you can see. Okay, so here this is only if condition, and if this if condition is true, then only if statement will be executed, means if block. Now if we will see if else. If is true, then block 1 will be executed. That means statement 1 will be printed. And if the if condition is false, then else condition will be printed. Got it? So these are the statements inside the else condition. Okay. If this condition is true, like if x is greater than y, but you know very well x is 2 and y is 7. So which is greater? Y equals to 7 is greater. So this condition is false. So here else statement will be executed. And else S2 is there, statement 2. Whatever we will write inside these blocks will be executed. This is just an example. Okay, this is the syntax that how we can write if conditions and if else conditions. So students, only this much for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.